Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Show Board Game Reviews. This video is part of a series of videos looking at Nemo's War. In this particular video, this is actually an extended gameplay video that goes along with the original video that shows some gameplay for the game. If you want to actually learn how to play the game, see some quick overview of actually how the game is played, or if you want to see an actual review of the game, check out those other videos in the series. And this video itself is just an extended gameplay. Again, I'm pretty much assuming that you watched the part one of the gameplay. This is an extended gameplay, which is just continuing that gameplay. My goal with that was just to separate this down and make it a smaller bite-sized increments, because this game can go long, especially when you have somebody who's doing a lot of the wah-wah stuff, and that kind of extends the gameplay. The game itself is about a 2-hour game, but with me talking, it's going to go longer, so I wanted to do a separate extended video just so you can see how the game plays. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to play a complete game, unless this is probably going to be about a 3.5-hour video series, and I don't know if that's something anybody enjoys. Of course, leave your comments down below. That's how I know what you all want to see. But that's enough of the talking. Let's go ahead and continue our gameplay, starting with the next round we're about to go into. First thing we need to do is draw that adventure card and find out what kind of adventures our crew is going to continue to encounter. It says, the Indian Ocean. Now we begin the second part of this voyage under the seas. The first ended in that moving scene at the Coral Cemetery, which left a profound impression on my mind. And so Captain Nemo would live out his life entirely in the heart of this immense sea, and even his grave lay ready in its impenetrable depths. The Indian Ocean is a keep card. When the Nautilus is in the Indian Ocean, you may pass to gain 1 Nemo and 1 notoriety. At the game's end, fail if unused. So anytime I can heal Nemo by 1 just by being in the Indian Ocean. This is actually a really awesome card, because Nemo, if you didn't watch any other videos, the Nemo track is one of the hardest tracks to keep going, because there's not an action that you can use to repair it. Sure, you can repair crew. Sure, you can repair the hull. Well, I guess you don't repair your crew. You heal your crew and get them back into fighting shape. But you can't really do that for Nemo. So as the Nemo track goes down, sure, he gets stronger, but it's one of those tracks that you have to be extremely careful of. This allows you to actually heal the Nemo track, so that's actually a good thing. So now we've done our adventure card, let's go on to the placement phase. So we're in Act 2, which means we're rolling 2 white dice, 1 black die. And let's just see what kind of results we're going to get. And I'm starting to think maybe I should roll these dice in front of you so you all can see the results. I'm just afraid the dice are going to go everywhere and start knocking components out of the way, which is something I'm trying to avoid. But we're going to get another null turn. Why? Because we haven't seen enough of them yet, and now we can actually start worrying about the results here, because we can start losing these cubes right here, because every time there's a null turn, there's a chance that these cubes can start disappearing. So we need to be very, very careful about that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place a ship in number 1. Well, we already have a ship in number 1. We already have everything in the connected oceans. So that means we are going to draw from the ship bag. Again, if we ever forget, the ship placement priority is right here. Hidden ship in an adjacent ocean, reveal a ship and place it out in one of the current or adjacent locations. We are going to get the Cuddy Sark, which is a clipper. Now this can be a very important decision for me. I can pretty much overload this location and never go to the Western Pacific, because I don't really have any cards that seem to interact with it, but then I'm going to lose out on that jewel right there. But I could, actually, you know what, this isn't really even much of a decision for me. I'm just going to simply put this clipper, well, let's see here. These are the hard decisions I need to make. Obviously, your notoriety track is a big, big thing you need to worry about in this game. It is very easy in this game to go gung-ho and start sinking ships left and right. But as you do this, your notoriety track's going to go out. And just remember, once your notoriety track gets to the level of your motive, you lose. There's nothing you can do to save the game. Once you get to that motive level, you're doomed. Now, I don't have the upgrade available to my ship that allows me the fog of war, the fog machine, which gives me a random lowering of the notoriety track. So that means I'm basically stuck with insight actions. Now, we know that insight actions work better for me thanks to this wonderful card I was fortunate enough to get through the adventures. So inciting is going to be a great way for me to control my notoriety. So I do have options. I'm not pigeonholed, but I need to make sure that my notoriety doesn't go up too high, because we're going to start getting these more powerful ships out there. And unfortunately, I don't have any of the great upgrades that can prevent me from getting hammered, especially these tougher ships come in. You see this ship right here is a 10, which means I basically need to roll a 10 on 2 dice to avoid taking any damage unless I start getting some good upgrades. So I got to be very wary of that fact. It can be very, very damaging. So I don't want these ships to come out, but again, I don't mind notoriety to go up too high. So I'm thinking about 2 things. One, I can just let the ocean start filling up and try to do my thing and hope I don't suffer an imperialistic loss. Chances are pretty slim of that happening. I know I'm going to have to start sinking ships. So the next thing I can do is I can start attacking ships. But the trick is the more ships that are present, warships that are present, the harder it is for me to sink ships. If I have multiple warships in a single location, we see that over here on the attacking thing, I'm sorry, the attacking thing goes over on this side, but we start seeing on the attacking track that the more ships that are present, if there's any other warships present, I'm at -1 to my roll, so I have to be very, very careful. So I put this ship here and attack it, I'm at -1 to my roll, so that means if I put it here, I have to take out that warship first. Again, that's more notoriety. If I put the ship over here, I can go sink the ship alone, but then I'm kind of stuck in the middle of the ocean without working towards my goals of the big oceans. So that's not really a great thing for me also. The other thing I can decide that is if I sink or move this all the way over here and put it over this connected ocean, I know that I need to go to this ocean by discovering this trench right here. I'm sorry, by discovering the Arabian Tunnel. I know that's something I need to do. So thinking about that, hedging my bets and planning for future actions, I'm going to use this connection ocean, which is over here connected to the 6. And I'm going to place this ship here. Knowing that I plan on using the Arabian Tunnel, I'm going to end up over there and I'm going to start sinking ships because I'm worried about this track overfilling and the imperialistic defeat. Something I need to consider. So the next thing we see is that we are in a lull phase, or lull turn again, because we got the double 4s. So that does mean that we are going to get a ship here. I can get one here. Well, let's draw. Let's just look at what I draw first. We will draw and we will get a Royal Adelaide, which is a freighter. I need to get that sunken treasure, I know. So I'm going to put this right here. I don't want anything going on in that location. I want to go over here and I want to succeed in this location in a search action. Again, there's so many things I need to be doing right now. So that's what's getting hard about the game. So many actions I want to do and I need to be doing them. Okay, this is a warship. This is a Shenandoah. It's a raider. Notoriety hit. It's a 2 hit on the notoriety if I take this ship out. It has to go on a 4 or a connected. It can't go here, it can't go here, so it's either in the Southern Atlantic or it's going to go in the Northern Atlantic. I need to go to the Northern Atlantic. I need to go here. There's so many places I need to go. So obviously, not obviously, unfortunately, this is not really what I want to do, but I'm going to put that warship right there. I don't like that, but I need to get this done as quickly as possible, especially since we're getting lots of null turns. Null turns are not great for us. So the next thing we need to do is anytime there's a null turn, or a lull, not a null, but a lull turn, we need to roll for any ocean that happens to have any rebellion cubes inside them, or any rebellion cubes. So the first thing we need to do is we need to roll, and the roll is going to be based on just however many ships are revealed and how many current cubes there happens to be in that location. That's going to create a penalty on our roll. So basically we need to roll less than that number. Right now it's actually impossible. I need to roll less than a 1 on a d6, which is actually impossible, but I'll roll it just to show you what happened. I rolled a 2, which means if I had at least 3 combined ships showing and cubes, that I'd lose 1 cube there, unless I want to take a notoriety hit. That's not the case, so I'm going to keep that rebellion cube going on right there. Remember, that's victory points for me. Don't forget about that. And of course, there's other things that are going on right there. But that's the completion of that lull turn. Let's go ahead and start our next turn now. And actually, before I go on with the rest of the turn, I did forget one thing here. Again, doing too much of the talky here, but if you ever forget what happens during an uprising right here, this whole little section of the board tells you what to do and how to judge the uprising. Again, not to harp on this, and I'll cover this in my review, but Ian O'Toole did an absolutely fantastic job designing this board and this game right here. Everything you need on this game is on the board. There is zero reason to ever need to pull out the rule book as you're playing this game because they did such a fantastic job with the game. Once you play the game once or twice, it's very, very easy to play the game, just looking at everything out here, not having to refer back to the rule book, and that's a wonderful thing that you can do. But I did forget for my doubles for the 4, I forgot to place out treasures in a connected ocean. So we see that we are connected here, we're connected here, we're connected here. The only one that can get a treasure is this one. And we're running out of green, so I guess we're going to start now. Just kind of put a clear out there. Sorry, everybody. I was hoping I can keep this nice and Christmassy, but I'm trying to keep the blues for the adventure deck, so that's for the adventure deck. That officially ends that lull turn. Let's go ahead and start the next adventure turn right now. Keep some days ashore. This is worth 3 adventure points at the end of the game. It says, stepping ashore had an exhilarating effect on me. Ned Land tested the soil with his foot, as if he were laying claim to it, yet it had been only 2 months since we had become, as Captain Nemo expressed it, passengers on the Nautilus. You know the story, they're not really passengers, they're kind of forced onto the ship, but that's if you read the story. It's a good story if you ever get a chance to read it. Oh, I'm sorry. In other words, the literal prisoners of its commander. Oh, there's the rest of the story right there. It says it right there. Keep. When the Nautilus is in any Pacific Ocean at all, which is actually pretty darn good. We see that we actually have a couple locations that we can go to safely that are Pacific Oceans. We can fail to gain 2 crew and 2 notoriety, or place 1 rebellion or incite rebellion cube at the ocean. Now, one interesting thing about the rules of this game, when you do an incite action, your notoriety goes down. But anytime a card tells you to place an incite cube on the board, your notoriety doesn't change at all. You only gain that notoriety change by doing the incite action. Cards that tell you to add the cubes, don't adjust the notoriety check unless the card specifically tells you to adjust the notoriety check. If we make it to the end of the game without ever using this card, we're going to gain 3 victory points. So this is a nice card to keep if our crew ever starts taking a lot of damage. We can discard this card and fix that problem pretty darn quickly. So this is a card we definitely want to keep to the end of the game if we can. This is a card we want to use now, and this is also a card we want to use right now. Now, we did a lull turn. We have started the new turn. Let's start this new turn by rolling the dice and seeing if we can actually get some actions this turn. Let's roll the dice, see what we get. And you know what? I'm rolling on the board, guys. Guys and gals, I'm gonna hope I don't mess up too many things. But I think it's more fun for y'all to see what's going on. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the dice tray because it's just noisy anyways. We will roll and we will get, hey, I'm getting rid of the dice tower or the dice cube tray. It's much better roll without it. So we will get a 1 and a 5. So this means we will get 4 actions this turn. Yes. So we have a 1. We cannot put any ship tokens here, or we can't put any hidden ship tokens there, so we start looking at the adjacent oceans. Before we look at the adjacent oceans, let's pull out and see what we're going to get. We're going to get the Mary Celeste. It is the ghost ship. This is a ship I want to sink for its tonnage and also for its scavenge value, because there's no notoriety for sinking a ghost ship because it's a ghost. It doesn't exist, or does it? Anyway, so I need to start thinking about where I want to place the ship as intelligently as possible. I want this ship in a location where I can go after it. Luckily, Ocean 1 is connected to Ocean 6, which is somewhere I definitely want to go. And I wouldn't mind sinking that ghost ship, and that's actually going to help me quite a bit. So now we go for number 5, and we are going to get the Alfred, a passenger ship. So now, this one is a notoriety hit. We can place it here. We can place it here, or we can place it over here. Well, I know we're going over there, and we're probably going to just start warmongering while we're over there anyway, so what the heck, let's just go ahead and do that. And then our final one is going to be, well, it's a whaler ship. This one is worth 1 treasure. Would have been very, very nice to get that down there since I know I'm going there. But I know I'm also going over here eventually, and I have 4 actions, which actually works out pretty darn well for me. I think I'm going to put the whaler ship. 4 actions. If I sink this, move, that'd be 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions, come back. I think I'm going to do that. Probably not the smartest thing to do. No, I'm going to do this. No, gosh darn it. Tough choices. This is really tough choices. I'm going to just stop hemming and hawing, and I'm going to make a decision. That's going to be my choice. I'm going to put that whaler ship right there. My notoriety is at 5. I'm not doing a terrible job of notoriety. I actually have a little bit of notoriety wiggle room for now, so we're going to go with this. We have 4 actions to do. What are we going to do on our turn? Well, we have a couple different options. 1, I could just move over here for 1 action. 2nd action is I work on sinking all these ships. 3rd action, I get a treasure. 4th action, I can get back over here, ending my turn, and that's also going to allow me to discard this card right here, the Arabian Tunnel, which is one of my objectives that I have to do. For 1 turn, assuming the dice go in my favor, I can have a fantastic turn, getting a lot of results, and if I can start sinking some ships in the Atlantic Ocean, which I don't think I've sunk any yet. Have I? Oh, I'm sorry, the Indian Ocean. Geography for the win. I haven't sunk any ships in the Indian Ocean yet, so that's something I definitely want to do. I don't have to sink all of them. I want to sink at least 1 of them, possibly 2 of them, depending just how the dice go in my favor. I may not want to sink all of them, but again, looking at the upgrades we want, we know that we want the arcane library as quick as possible. I can't keep pushing that off. I need that arcane library very, very quickly. But I want this turn as a turn to clear a little bit of the board so I have spots to play ships, which means I should take this out first, logically, which means I'm going to end up at this location over here, which is not terrible, and it's allowing me to move around. And sometimes it's better to be a little bit behind the ball in the movement, because as the dice put out more ships, you may change where you want to be anyways. And this isn't a terrible place to be at the end of the round, because I have lots of movement options anyways. So first thing we are going to do is we are going to do a stealth attack. We're going to, I'm sorry, a stalk attack. It's a stalking, not stealth, because we're not planes, we're submarines. So we're going to do a stalk attack versus this ship right here. Now this ship right here is the Gange. If we sink it, we're going to gain 1 treasure because it's a whaler. It's got treasure aboard it. The problem is we're going to take a notoriety hit if we attack it, but we're attacking it anyways. So we're going to have +1 on the attack because it's a stealth attack. We are going to push our crew towards this one, which is going to give us +3, +1 is 4. I just need to roll a 4 or higher to sink the ship. Shouldn't be too much problem, but let's go ahead and roll for it. We will get an 11, which easily sinks this ship. Now this ship right now is in the European seas. I've already sunk 2 ships in the European seas. This ship is not worth a lot of victory points. Let's go and get our treasure here first before I forget, because there's a chance I'll forget as I'm talking and yammering away here. Our treasure is going to be 2 victory points, 3 technically, because we're the explorer. Our notoriety is going to go up by 1. Let's not forget that. So now the options we have is we can get our salvage up to a level 4, or we can work on getting to level 3 on the tonnage track. And if I get all 6 of these C's up to level 3, that's 17 victory points. Right now, as far as the tonnage goes, I'm at 0 because I need to sink ships in every single one of the major oceans. I am thinking that I can easily get salvage with my next action, which I'm going to do, which is going to be a bold attack. So I'm thinking I'm going to go for the European seas, and I'm going to increase the tonnage track. I got the treasure, I got the notoriety, and that is 1 action spent. Now my next action is going to be a move action. I'm going to move through the seas. Now I can move up to 2 spaces thanks to my wonderful hydro drive. Not going to do that because the only thing I want to do is I want to finish creating the Arabian Tunnel. So we'll add that on there to let us know the Arabian Tunnel is now open. Don't forget that if we complete the Arabian Tunnel, which is to move from the Indian Ocean to the European seas, which we have done, move between them, we will put this in the pass file, which means now this at the end of the game is worth 4 or 5 victory points. Not a lot. It's a slow burn to get that 270 victory points for the best ending. So we have moved down there. That is our second action. I gotta remember to track these actions so I don't forget. Now for our third action is where we're going to have to start getting a little bit gutsy and start working towards new challenges. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do a bold attack on this ghost ship. For the ghost ship, we are going to get +3 to the attack. We just need to roll a 4 or better to sink this ghost ship. We will get 8 +3 is 11. That will easily sink that ghost ship quite nicely, so we will remove that ghost ship. Now this ghost ship is in the Indian Ocean. So we will place that down here because we are not going to use that for its salvage yet. And did I spend my action? Let's see, attack, move. Nope, this is attack again. Gosh darn, I got to start tracking that a little bit better. Too much talking on my part. So we sunk that ship. We have done a bold attack, and I'm going to go for 1 more bold attack, which means my notoriety is going to go up by 1. Now, which one of these ships do I want to sink? Now, if I sink both these ships, then I can do a treasure search action. If we look over here on the search action, it says -1 per revealed ship token. So I need to destroy both of those ships to make sure I have the best results of my search. I kind of want to do that, but I got to watch that notoriety. So it's something that we got to constantly balance. But anyways, I am going to go for the passenger ship. Why? Because less passengers, no witnesses. We will get the +3. I need to roll a 9 or better. This is going to be a little bit brutal. I need to get a 6 or better on this. If I don't, things are going to start looking a little bit negative for us. I am hoping things are not negative for us. Here we go. 4 +3 is 11. This ship is sunk. We will gain +1 to our notoriety, and that'll be 2 ships sunk in the Indian Ocean. So we're going to continue our bold attack. That's 1 more point of notoriety. We are going to push the crew 1 more time, and we need to get a 6 or better on the dice. Let's hope the dice are still in our favor. The dice are not in our favor. So we have failed in this action to sink the ship. So anytime we fail to sink a ship, if you ever forget, this nice little reminder is right here. So we're going to take hits on our ship based on the value of the lowest die among these two dice. So we have a 1, but the other important thing is that our ship is also going to, our push crew is also going to have some problems also. So following along on the track, it says if the ship scores, I'm sorry, let's start this up on the proper thing. If hit, the ship is destroyed. If it isn't hit, we are going to gain a miss, which is going to be +1 to the notoriety. So we're getting +1 on our notoriety right there. And we're either going to take 1 or 2 risked ship resources. So since we got a 1, it's 1 risked ship resource, which means it's going to go down there. And then that is all we are going to do for that. That's right, it didn't do a warship, it didn't do our damage. I was almost getting ahead of myself there. So the lowest one was a 1, so we lost 1 resource, and that puts us down right there. We didn't get the results we wanted. This is where it gets a little bit unfortunate, because I was really hoping that's the result we would get. Now, I could do my other action and go for the searching of the treasure, or I can move. I think what we're going to do, just because that notoriety track is getting a little bit higher than what we want, we got to be very careful of that, because there are cards that will just do notoriety hits just instantly. So we got to be a couple below the level we're trying to avoid, and then we can start inciting some rebellions here eventually. So we are going to do a search. We are looking over here for a search. We will see that we're going to get +1 or plus for any exertion, +1 if we have the arcane library, or -1 if there's any warships present. This is not a warship, so we are going to get +3 to our roll. And I hope that this is going to work out in our favor. Hopefully. Let's see what happens. So we're +3 to the roll. We need at least a 6 or higher. Oh, that looks kind of familiar. Okay, so we have failed in this roll. So since we got a red result and our lowest roll is a 1, we know that our crew is going to take the hit. So now we look over the chart and see what a roll of 4 does. It says over here on search, it says damage, lose 1 crew or 1 hull on top of the damage we took from doing the search. Let's go ahead and lose the crew or the hull, because that's just what we're going to choose to do at this time. And then we also took the loss on the pushed resource that we lost, and then we also lost the action. So this has not been the best of turns for us at all. We had a lot of actions, but unfortunately the dice were not rolling in our favor. That's the end of the turn. Let's draw our next adventure card. It is going to be a keep. At full steam, the Abraham Lincoln's speed increased. Its masts trembled down in their locks, and swirls of smoke could barely squeeze through the narrow funnels. Keep. After sinking a warship in the North or South Atlantic, put it in the pass pile. If it games in, if we have not done that, this is going to go in the fail pile. We are not going to gain any victory points for it. Luckily, there is a warship in the South Atlantic, so that gives us another option of what we can do. Let's go ahead and see what kind of things are going to happen for us in the placement phase. Okay, 4 actions. Hey, not too bad. Maybe things are going to work out in our favor again. So ocean number 1, let us draw from the bag, and we will get the Ellen Southard. That's a freighter. 2 notoriety hits if we sink it. I am going to place this ship, I'm thinking right down here. Place it right there, and then number 4 is going to be right here. There. So yep, we are going to draw from the bag, and we are going to get a clipper. Not liking. And then for the number 5, we are going to get, oh lovely, we're going to get a battleship, the Ironside. So luckily, this is not going to be too much of a problem. Actually, I should not have drawn that. Sorry, I wasn't paying close attention. I forgot we sunk a ship beforehand. So instead of that, we would have actually gotten that token. Sorry about that error. I apologize. Now we're back to 4 actions. I need to sink that ship, I need to get that treasure, and I need to move around the board, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, I need to do a million different things. We are still in the Indian Ocean. We could. We are not hurt on Nemo. Tough call. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm actually going to go for that ship and push Nemo for it. So we're going to take one action and we are going to do just a simple stealth attack. Stalk, sorry. One of these days I got the verbiage correctly. We're going to push Nemo. This is going to give us +3 to our roll. We need a 6 or better. Let's see if I need to go back to the dice tray. I need to go back to the dice tray. Oh my gosh, do I need to go back to the dice tray? Okay, so we have failed in our check. The lowest dice roll is a 2 or higher. That means we're going to lose 2 of the push resource. So we're going to go from strong down to determined because our roll was terrible. And since the ship survived, we are going to take a notoriety hit. Also, not a good thing. What do we want to do then? This is just not looking good. Well, that's just what happens. I guess it's a good time to use this keep card. When the Nautilus is in the Indian Ocean, you may pass to gain 1 Nemo and 1 notoriety. So we'll gain 1 notoriety. We will gain 1 Nemo. Doesn't use up an action, but at least it goes in our pass pile. We will do another action. And we're going to try a stalk attack on that ship again. Finally. Oh, I forgot to push. I was going to push. I forgot to call it. Oh, that's what happens when we get ahead of ourselves. Let me re-roll that because I did want to push a resource. I was a little bit ahead of myself. We're going to push Nemo again to get the +2. So we're at +3 because we have the stalk for +1, +2 for Nemo is a +3. I need a 6 or better. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's going to go there and we're going to get 1 more notoriety. Wow. I need to stop sinking ships. I am just... Gotta stop. Okay, 1 action. We're getting out of this ocean. This ocean is full of terrible, terrible bad luck for us. And we're going to go after the sunken fleet treasure. So the treasure fleet, if I remember correctly, let's see here. And let's see, random major ocean, we did that. Successfully searched there. Okay, after you successfully search there, gain that ocean's treasure and the sunken fleet, which gains you 2 additional silver uprising cubes. Oh, I don't even have these yet. Oh my gosh, I've been cheating for a while. Oh my gosh. We don't even get those until I succeed in this roll. So I think I used that before. Oh boy, I'm a dirty cheater. I'm sorry, everybody. This is what happens when you're trying to play a game and do a lot of good things and trying to show some fun in the game. And you kind of get ahead of yourself while you're talking back and forth with the camera. So I think that means that I actually have 1 more notoriety, but let's just go with it. Forgive me again, everybody. I am totally sorry. Oh boy. Hey, I'm allowed 1 error per video. 1 error. That was my error in the last video. I still have 1 more error to make in this video. No, I don't. Not allowed errors. So we are going to do a search action. I moved here. Let's do our search action. So for our search action, we are going to push the crew because Nemo is starting to get a little bit hurt. Although if Nemo gets hit again, guess what? He's going to be much more determined. So I'm going to push Nemo because, hey, we're already in trouble. Let's just go for it. So we get +2 to the result. Remember, for search, we get +2 for that. If we have the arcane library, we have +1, and we get -1 per revealed ship token. I should have got the arcane library, but it takes 2 actions to do a refit. I could backtrack and do the refit, but the way my dice have been going, actually, it's probably the smarter action. So I'm going to take back that action. We're going to just sit in the Indian Ocean and we're going to do a refit because I need that arcane library. The way the dice are hating me right now, I have to have it. I see the dice hate me. See, dice hate me. You hate me. Okay, dice hate me. So we are going to do a refit action, which costs 2 actions. If you ever forget, it's right down here. The refit action is 2 actions. I will spend those 2 actions. Remember, I had 4 actions. 2 of them were failing miserably. Last 2 are going to be a refit. So if I do a refit action, I'm going to push Nemo for a +2 to my roll because I need it. We are going to discard a treasure to gain some extra bonuses on our roll because I need a really, really good roll here. I need a 9 or better, at least a 9 or better. I have to get that upgrade. So I will discard this treasure right here, which is going to give me +2 to my roll. So I have 2 + 2 is 4. I roll 2 dice. On 2 dice, all I need is a 5 or better. Finally. So we rolled a 7 plus 4 happens to be 11. That is going to be a success. Not quite the success we wanted because we wanted a 12 or better. But we do gain an upgrade. We're going to take the arcane library, which means we are going to discard these 2 ships. And the arcane library says you receive 1 dice roll modifier when performing any search or any insight action. So that's +1 to my search and my insight actions. That is it for my turn. Sorry for the retcon, sorry for the pulling back, and sorry for the minor mistake with the +2 insight. I apologize, but let's continue on with the game with the next adventure card. Please don't be mean. Okay, a keep, all by electricity. Professor, said Captain Nemo, my electricity is not everybody's. I owe all to the ocean. It produces electricity, and electricity gives heat, light, motion, and in a word, life to the Nautilus. Pass at any time during your action phase to immediately receive an additional 1d3 actions this turn. At game's end, pass if unused. If I don't use this card, it's 4 victory points at the end of the game. If I use this card at any time, I can gain 3 actions. Seeing how well I've been doing with the actions, that may be something I may want to consider. Oh boy. These are the ones that pass if unused, pass. Oh my gosh. Tough calls. Okay, I'm planning too far ahead. Let's just roll the dice and see how many actions we are going to get. No actions, because we're going to get another lull phase. So, for the lull phase, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to add ships. Wow. Okay, so we are going to add 1 treasure. Sorry, it looks like we're back to adding the white cubes again. And then we'll add that treasure right there. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to draw 1. Now remember, like I said before, anytime we have a lull phase, we don't place ships for the black die, which is nice. So the first thing we're going to get is another warship. It's one of the darker red warships. These warships are nasty. I think the Western Pacific is going to be pretty much off limits to us for the rest of the game until we manage to get something better. Next thing we will draw is going to be, actually, you know what? I just dirty cheated again. That would have went there, and then the second one would go there because I'm not retconning anymore for my minor little mistakes from not paying attention. So that's my 2 placements. I placed my 2 treasures. Now I must roll for this right here. Now remember, for an uprising, during the lull phase, I need to roll less than the amount of cubes plus ships present. If you ever forget right here, it says, if the result is equal to or less than the total, no effect. If the result is less than, you lose 1 of the cubes or you must take a notoriety hit. You're going to add the number of uprising cubes and the number of revealed ships in a current location. So I must roll less than a 1 on a d6. Not possible. Don't need to worry about it. So nothing's going to happen there. Okay. Lull phase, I have no actions. I need to take actions. Am I going to discard that card already for actions right now? Gosh, I need to do something. Not going to discard that card yet. I need to discard that card. I'm not going to do it. I need to, but I'm not going to do it. It's 4 victory points for up to 3 actions. Yeah. Actually, this doesn't matter. It says put in the pass file either way. That must be a typo on the card because either way I get a pass. Why wouldn't you pass? You're going to do this either way, you're going to pass. I bet that's a typo, but you know what? Until I get confirmation that's a typo, I'm going to assume that I'm going to get 1d3 actions. Or I'm just going to get, 1 action. We're going to try to insight again. We're going to try to insight. I need my notoriety to go down. So we are going to insight. Now the way insight works is we're going to get whatever resource we push, we're going to push Nemo. Nemo's going to get off his ship and start inciting all the people into rebellion. Say, rebel, rebel, for +2. And then we are going to discard one treasure because we need high. This is brutal. I'm going to get this one discarded, which is going to give me +5 to my roll. So I'm +7. +7 to my roll. Then I'm going to get -1 to my roll for every revealed ship, which is 1. So I'm at +4. And I'm going to get -1 to my roll for every cube. There's no cubes there. So I'm at -4 to my roll. Let's see. Actually, no, I'm doing the math wrong. So it's 5 + 2 is 7. -1 is 6. So I'm at -6 to my roll. If I get a 6 or higher on these dice, I'll be happy. If I get a 5 or less, I'm going to be very upset. Well, it's a game, not very upset. Yeah, very upset. 5 + 6 is 11. I succeeded. Not as well as I wanted to, though. So notoriety is going to go down by 1. If you ever forget right here, we will see that we got 11, so we're going to place one rebellion cube. Let's just place it right here just for grins. That was my one action that I gained. That turn is over. Let's go on to the next adventure because things are going to go up. We're going to start having some positives. Positive thoughts. Happy thoughts. Very happy. Not happy. Attack of the giant squid. No relation to Attack of the killer tomatoes. Okay, just as we were crowding each other to reach the platform, 2 more arms lashed the air, swooped on the seaman stationed in front of the Captain Nemo, and carried the fellow away with irresistible violence. Pass. I'm going to press the crew and the hull. If I pass, I get 2 gems. If I fail, I will lose 2 crew or 2 hull or 1 of each, plus the resources I press. It's a 10 or worse. So I'm basically going to lose 2. Or I'm going to lose 4. Ouch. Okay, we're going to push this. This may be one of the quickest games of Nemo's War I've played in a long, long time. I'm going to get +3 to my roll. I need to roll a 7 or higher. If I get a 7 or higher, life's going to be wonderful. I hate these dice. Okay, we failed. So 5 + 3 is an 8. We have failed. So anytime you fail, you're going to look at the value of the lowest die, and that's how much of the resource you're going to lose. So we're going to lose that, and then we're going to lose that. Plus, since we failed in defeating this giant squid, he's also, well, let's just be thematic. He's going to carry a whole bunch of crew down to their imperiled death. Well, actually, that's just dumb of me. That's just me being frustrated. So 1 of each. He bashes a hole in the side of the ship, and we lose some crew because he's carried over into the dark, murky depths, where he screams into the ocean as we go, "No!" in our greatest Star Trek moment. We don't yell Khan, we yell Nemo because, you know, Nemo's War. Okay, so placement. Well, at least we're going to get actions. We have 3 actions. Ocean number 3, right here. Full, 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 full. Double checking my work because I keep messing this up. All full. So we will get the Napoleon. I'm going to place the Napoleon. Oh, it's just all horrible all the way around. I'm going to place the Napoleon there. Now for our 6, we will get a whaler. Hey, that'll fix our Nemo. I'm going to put that right there because, hey, we've been having so much luck attacking ships. I'm sure I'm going to have great, great luck attacking ships. Great luck. Great, great luck. Triumph. I'll put that right there. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of bold attacks. And guess what? I guess battleships are just coming onto the map for us. We have 3 actions. Gosh darn it. Bold attack. I have no choice. Bold attack, bold attack, bold attack. You only live once. So we're going to push our crew. We need a 9 or better, or in this case, we need a 7 or better. I can win. I can win. The dice cannot hate me just for a second. Okay, so since we have pushed our crew, we have succeeded. 7 + 2 is a 9. I needed a 9 to sink the ship. So the first thing that's going to happen is our notoriety is going to go up by 1. The reward for sinking this is going to gain +1 to our Nemo, and since we happen to be in the Indian Ocean, in case we forget, we will put this tonnage right there. Now, since we bold attacked, we know we're going to continue on because that's just what happens. We are going to place all 4 of these horrible ships into the bag, go and mix it up really, really well, and just see how much of the pain and the agony is going to start coming our way here very, very, very quickly. Pain and misery. Okay, so which ship do I want to sink next? Obviously, I want to sink the ship that's easier to sink and going to give us treasure. I will just reset that for winning. I will push the crew. I need a 6 or better. So we failed. Our lowest die is a 1. We will gain 1 notoriety because the ship will sail off into the sunset to tell everybody just how horrible Nemo is for attacking everybody. And that is going to happen on that. Well, darn. I want that treasure. But I don't want it that badly. We're going to move. Did we have a card for the Indian Ocean? I forgot. I thought we had one for the Indian Ocean, didn't we? North, South Atlantic, North Atlantic. No. We're sailing over into the North Atlantic. Let's see, I had 3 actions. I spent 1 to attack, 1 more to move. My next action is I'm going to hopefully go for treasure. Oh my gosh. You know, the dice just don't like you. The dice just don't like you some days. And I appreciate the persnicketyness of dice sometimes, but man, when the dice are just really against you, boy, does it get painful. So we are going to do a search action with our last action. We are going to push or exert Nemo. We are going to get +1 for the Arcane Library, which is +1 to any search or incite action. So that's +3. Wow. 7, okay. We got 7 +3 is a 10. Not bad. We will gain this treasure right here, which will be 1 draw from the treasure bag. Please let things be better than what they have been. Hey, that's actually not that bad. We will gain 1 treasure. We are going to gain the Sunken Treasure Fleet. Now we get to add these 2 gray cubes onto the board, which gives us +2 to our incite actions. Thank you. Oh boy. And we drew our treasure. We gained the Sunken Fleet. We succeeded in our endeavor there. We're out of actions. I'm going to discard this token, this treasure token right here. Let's fix our ship because we really, really need to do it. That's the end of the turn. Let's see what further adventures we are going to encounter. Oh, lovely. 42 degrees centigrade, boiling. Okay. The panels had opened and I could see completely white sea around the Nautilus. Steaming sulfurous fumes uncoiled in the midst of waves bubbling like water in a boiler. I leaned my hand against one of the windows, but the heat was so great I had to snatch it back. Okay, we need to test the Nautilus and Captain Nemo. If I succeed, I gain a hull. I so desperately need to do this. If I fail, I'm going to lose 1 Nemo or 1 hull plus whatever resource or resources I'm going to push. Because I can push Nemo. I forgot to fix that, sorry. And I can push the hull. That's going to give me +3 to the roll. I need a 7 or better. Logic tells me not to do this because I've been rolling horribly. I need that hull very, very badly though. So we're either going to lose or we're just going to lose miserably. Let's see what's going to happen. Yes. Okay. 7 + 3 is a 10. We succeed. So that is going to go up and that's going to reset. We are going to gain 1 hull for succeeding, so we're back into fighting trim. That is nice. This is going to go into the success pile. This is worth 4 victory points for us at the end of the game. That's also very, very nice. Let's see what the placement turn is going to do for us. The placement turn is going to give us 2 actions. Okay, number 1. Can we place in connected? We can place in a connected. So that is number 1. Now we go for number 3, which is going to be right here. Everything is occupied. So we will draw and see what we get. We are going to get an armored frigate. I don't want to deal with this armored frigate. I'm going to put it right here. Number 5. Please something good. Oh, no, not something good. The Idaho, it's a steam cruiser, a very nasty steam cruiser. Well, I could rule out the Indian, I could rule out the European. I'm definitely not putting the Northern Atlantic because we are staying in the Northern Atlantic because we really, really desperately need to. Actually, no, that's dumb of me. If I sink a warship in the North Atlantic, all I gotta do is sink a warship in the North Atlantic. All I need to do is sink a warship in the North Atlantic. I keep repeating it in hopes that if I say it enough times, it'll actually come true. All I need to do is sink a warship in the North Atlantic. I'll do that. I'm going to do that. And then we are going to hope and hope and hope. If only I can get the reinforced armor. The monstrous design also. Since notoriety is going high, the monstrous design seems to be my next most likely thing. Periscope's also going to help me fight better. Okay, I have 2 actions. I need to sink that steam cruiser. First thing the steam cruiser is going to do is we are going to take our action. This is going to be painful. 9 or better. Not going to do it. So we're going to take damage based on our lowest die, which is going to be 2 points of damage. So I'm going to roll. For the 2 locations, we are going to take the damage. A 3 and a 3. Lovely. So that is going to go down, and then that is going to go down. Now, what resource do I want to push? We're going to push Nemo. Captain Nemo. Captain Nemo. If I say it with enthusiasm, maybe I'll actually win this fight. Captain Nemo. 7 or better. Oh boy, what do you do when the dice hate you? When the dice hate you, you don't play a dice game. You do other things to score victory points. You stop rolling the dice when the dice hate you. Okay, so Nemo's going to be going down because we failed in our attack. Our notoriety is going to go up for 1 because it's going to survive to tell the tale. And then we're going to lose 1 for Nemo. Things are not going our way at all. And actually I'm taking a double whammy there because it was a 1, not a 2. That means there's only 1 resource damage. Oh boy. This is looking absolutely abysmal. It looks like this extended gameplay is probably going to be a good idea of just how difficult this game truly can be. Now, strategically, I know what I should be doing here, but stupidly, I'm trying to show you as much gameplay as possible. Yeah, that's my excuse. I'm trying to show you gameplay. That's why I'm doing horrible. Well, I am trying to show you guys gameplay, but I need to sink that damn ship. This is just, oh, this is horrible. I love this game, but boy, when it's brutal, it's brutal. We're attacking again. I need to sink that ship. Go Nemo. Oh, before we do that, sorry, I got to see how much damage I'm going to take. Yes! Finally! Finally! Okay, now we're going to press Nemo. Captain Nemo, do your best, sir. And I mean your absolute best. Yes, okay, things are turning around. So 8 plus 2 is 10. This ship is sunk. We are going to take one more notoriety damage. Now, we are in the North Atlantic. I have not sunk any ships at all in North Atlantic. Not that I think we'll get a tonnage victory anyways, but there's so many things we could be salvaging, but that's just not the way we're going to play the game right now because it's just not going to work for us. We need to play smart and play the way the game is being mean to us. So we're going to take the tonnage. Since we succeeded in sinking a warship in the North or South Atlantic, we're going to put this in the pass pile. 2 whole victory points for all that damage we took. Wow. Okay, well, that's the end of the turn. Still got a lot of venture cards to go. A lot of chances of taking lots of pain. New turn. Oh, Act 3. Hey, we're moving along. We're now in Act 3. Hey, we're getting through. Means we're about halfway through the game. Yay. Okay, Act 3. The Nautilus went at a frightful pace, 40 miles an hour. It literally tore through the water. Where was Captain Nemo? Had he succumbed? Where are his companions dead with him? Change Nemo's motive. Use rule number 15. Basically, in the rules, that allows you to change your motive. If you decide to change your motive, that means you pick one of the other 3 remaining motives. But if you don't, you get a nice bonus. You get to select an upgrade card for purchase, which means you get to add one more in this spot right here. And at this point, we're going to add in all the orange reinforcements. Well, I think we're going to select an upgrade because we need things to start going in our favor. Oh my gosh. Crew armor. Oh my gosh. Fog machine. Fog machine would help bring our notoriety down, but I'm just so hosed on notoriety, it doesn't even matter at this point. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go for the fog machine. Okay, select a Nautilus upgrade card for purchase. Selected. Okay, add the orange reinforcement ship group to the ship draw pool. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, roll 3 white dice and 1 black die to begin each placement phase, choosing any 2 of the white dice to be our action dice. So, that's going to go like that. I know I'm sighing heavily, but I am actually having a lot of fun. This game just can be pretty darn brutal. So, we'll place this here as a nice reminder of how many cards we're going, and let's go on with the next adventure itself. A sacrifice to the gods. I am the law, and I am the judge. I am the oppressed, and there is the oppressor. Through him I have lost all that I loved, cherished and venerated. Country, wife, children, father, and mother. I saw all perish, all that I hate is there. Say no more. Fail and lose at least 1, but you may elect to lose any combination of up to 3 non-Nemo resources or characters if available. For each 1 lost or sacrifice, you gain 1 Nemo and 1 notoriety. Not gonna do it. Okay, let's roll to see how painful the game wants to be now. Okay, I could take a lull turn and not get that, or I could get 1 action this turn. I think I'm going to start sacrificing crew. Plus 2 actions. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do the 2 and the 3 for our actions. That's going to give us 1 action. And then we're going to do, actually, no, you know what? I'm going to take the lull turn. I can get the treasure. I'm going to take the lull turn. So the first thing that's going to happen for our lull turn is we will take 1 treasure there, 1 treasure there. And then for the first ship placement, a warship. Oh joy. For a second placement, more joy. And then area 3, we will get, oh no, we don't get to draw because we actually have an open spot. We don't do the black die because we have a lull turn. Since we have a lull turn, we need to roll to see if any of these is going to disappear. Any of our insight cubes are going to disappear. So first we'll roll, actually we should do it in numerical order. So we have 2 revealed, so we got to roll a 1 or less. If we roll 1 or less, okay, we're safe. 2 ships plus a cube, that means a 3. So if I roll a 2 or less, I'm going to lose that cube. Of course, I'm going to lose the cube. Wow. That was a wonderful lull turn for us. And by wonderful, I mean not at all. Next adventure. Ned Land's tempers. Before I could make a single movement to prevent him, the Canadian rushed at the poor man, threw him down, held him by his throat. The steward was choking in the grip of his powerful hands. Pass. Keep this card. Before any future test, roll for +3 dice roll modifier. I really need that. Fail and lose 1 Nemo or 2 crew, or sacrifice the Ned Lander character if available. At game's end, pass if unused. Doubt that's going to happen. So I'm going to push Nemo. I'm going to push... Ooh. I'm going to push the crew. What the heck? The only thing that's going to happen is things just going to get worse. That's the only thing that can happen. Just worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay. Well, let's go for it here. I need to get a 7 or better. Not going to do it. Just not going to do it. We do have an option here. We can do 1 reroll. So I'm going to go for a reroll because I'm just not liking how the odds have been not in my favor. Okay. Let's just be extra fancy here. I need a 7 or better. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's an 11. 11 plus 3 is going to be 14. That more than enough to succeed. So we have succeeded in our roll. This means that we can keep this card. Before any test, we can put in our pass file for +3 DRM. Also at the end of the game, if we still have it, it's also going to go in the pass pile. Roll +3 for dice roll modifier. Oh my goodness gracious. Heavy sigh of relief. Let's go into the placement phase. Well, that's good. I can get 4 actions. I will take 4 actions. So, location number 1. Oops, that was a 3. Let's not cheat. Location number 1. Full. This is what's messing me up. I'm so used to doing it just like that. At least that's how I'm used to doing it. Keeps my eyes trained. So, for the first thing we will draw is going to be the Zealand, a passenger ship. Well, let's just do that. Next up, for the second number 1 is going to be, ooh, the mail ship, the City of Adelaide. We'll do that. For our number 3, we will draw and we will get another mail ship. Yep, I'm going to take this right here just like that. And then for our number 5, we will get, ooh boy, an Ironside. Well, looks like the Indian Ocean is just going to be a horrible place for Nemo to go adventuring at this time. Boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so we have 4 actions this turn. We need to fix our hull. We need to repair badly. We need to repair that hull. If I can fix 2 spots on the hull, or not the hull, I mean the crew. We need to rest the crew badly. If I can gain a good enough roll, I'm going to gain 2 extra sailors, which is going to put me right here, which allows me to get +2 on my rolls there. I need that badly. Unfortunately, a rest action does use up 2 actions, but it could be worth it. Okay, so we are going to exert. We're going to exert Nemo for +2. We can exert Nemo or Hull. We're going to go for Nemo. That's going to give us +2 to our roll. Additionally, if we want, we can discard any one treasure to add to our roll. We need to roll badly. I hate to do it, but we're going to discard that for +4 to our roll. So now we're at +6. If I get a 6 or higher, I'm going to heal back 2 of my, or resting is going to help our crew. So let's spend the 2 actions. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is just pushing me so much. So that's 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So we have succeeded. We at least have 1. With a 12 result, we are going to recruit 2 or rest our crew back from tired all the way back to fit. So that's good. That's a good thing. Things are looking good right now. I need to bring down my notoriety. I need to bring down my notoriety. I need to do a lot of things. I need treasure. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, do I need a lot of things. When the Nautilus is in any Pacific Ocean, I'm not there. North Atlantic, North or South Atlantic. I'm going to do it. It's terrible, but I need to win, or at least survive. So I'm going to discard this. That's going to heal up 2 of my hull for a fail. Yeah, that's going to really, really hurt my victory point level, but it's kind of a wash. If my hull doesn't take any more damage, it's still 1 lightning bolt, 1 lightning bolt. I'm only losing 2 victory points. Still have 2 actions left. I need salvage. At this point, I need salvage. But I need to go to the Eastern Pacific and I need to go to the Western Pacific. I can get to the Western Pacific very easily. It's risky, but I need to do it. I get +3 to my roll there. I can gain 2 crew. And I'm going to do it. So I'm going to spend 1 movement, which is move 2, because remember we have the wonderful hydro drive. We've done the hydro drive action. Okay, our next action is we are going to attack. Okay, now this is going to be really, really risky here because we definitely want to attack one of the warships. I want to attack the warship that has the least likely chance of blowing my ship to smithereens. So the first thing I'm going to do is, before we do that action, let's do this in the proper order. I'm going to discard this, put it in the fail pile to gain 2 crew and 2 notoriety. Oh well, it's just going to have to happen. It's going to give us 2 crew. At least that gets our numbers back up. That'll go in the fail pile. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to attack one of the ships. I am going to do a stealth attack because Lord knows at this point I need every bonus to my attack rolls that I can get. I'm going to push the crew for +3. Oh well, not at that point yet. Let's roll to see if he's going to hurt us first. 6 or better. That's a 7. He doesn't hurt us. We're lucky. So now we're going to push the crew for +2 to our roll. We're doing a stealth attack, so that's +1. I need going after this ship, which means I need a 7 or better. Do I use Ned's temper now? Okay. Now remember, we are at -1 because there's another warship in the zone, so we're only at +2 to the roll, so I need an 8 or better. So we're using Ned's temper. So we're going to put that in a pass pile. That's +3, +2 is +5, -1 is +4, plus a sneak attack is +5. So I'm +5, so I need a 5 or better. 8, that does it. This ship is sunk. We are going to gain +1 to our notoriety, and then we are going to place this in the Western Pacific, right there. Oh, that was our action too. So that's the last of our actions. That's the end of our turn. Let's go on to our next adventure. The earth wants not new continents, but new men. May the contemplation of so many wonders extinguish forever the spirit of vengeance. May the judge disappear and the philosopher continue the peaceful exploration of the sea. Pass, and you may reset the Nemo ship resource marker to its determined space. We're already there. Well, darn. I need a pass or pass. Or pass. Or pass. Well, we're going to push Nemo. That's going to give us +2 to the roll. I need a 7 or better. Oh, man, statistically I'm doing the wrong thing again, but... Yes, we passed. So we passed. It's not a keep, unfortunately, so we don't get the bonus of putting it back on the determined space, so it doesn't really matter. But it is a pass, so it's going to be victory points, and this is going to be 7 victory points for us at the end of the game. So put that in the pass pile. Let's see how bad the game is going to treat us now. Well. Lots of ships, or lots of ships, but we'll get 3 actions. Hey, let's just take the 3 actions. So we'll start with the number 3. Can't place, can't place, can't place. So let us draw from the bag of doom. The Hercules, that's a capital ship. Let's put it in the Arctic Ocean. Let's not place it in the Arctic Ocean. Yeah, actually, what the heck, let's place it in the Arctic Ocean. Okay, for our first 6, we will draw from the bag. Will we draw from the bag? No, we won't. Because we can connect all the way over here. So that's our first 6 gone. Our next 6 will force a draw from the bag. And we're going to get a capital ship, the Captain. Well, I think that... Wait, can't do that. That's right. Got to do this in proper order. So we will do this right here. Let's see, that was our second 6. Now for our last 6 is going to be a draw from the bag. And it's going to be a ironclad, the Kotetsu. Okay, so now we need to do some magic. We need to be in the North Atlantic or the European Sea to gain treasure. That's not going to happen. We don't need to fix our ship that badly. We have 3 actions. Let's see here. We could go to the Eastern Pacific. Then we go to the Eastern Pacific. I'm going to spend 1 action for a lovely 1-2 movement to go to the Eastern Pacific. Our next action is going to be to search. Actually, you know what? Our 2 actions to adventure will be 3 treasures. I'm running low on treasures. Wow. Or I can search. Or I can go attack. I need salvage. I'm going to attack. I'll spend the 1 action and we are going to bold attack. Bag of pain, don't hate me now. Okay, we're going to get a General Grant, which is a freighter. We're going to push the crew, which is going to be a +2. I need to get a 8 or better, which means I need a 6 or better at this point. We will roll. Oh man. Oh, do I have any rerolls left? That's 1 DRM, +2 DRM after reroll. +2 actions, +3 actions, or +3 DRM after roll, +1 action. Oh boy. It's a fail. That is a fail. I'll spend my action. Attack again. We will push the crew again. 7, I need an 8. I can't afford to fail this again, can I? We take the damage, nothing else we can do. Just take the damage. Take the damage. Take that old damage. Okay, next adventure. You know, we may survive this. We may make it through the entire deck of adventure cards. Our score is just going to suck. And I mean suck. Not even worth adding up. The Gulf Stream. 10 days went by in this way. It was only on May 1st that the Nautilus openly returned its northbound course. After raising the Bahamas at the mouth of the old Bahamas Channel, we then went with the current of the sea's greatest river, which has its own banks, fish, and temperature. I mean the Gulf Stream. Keep. When the Nautilus is in the South Atlantic, you may pass and as a free action move it to any other ocean except the European seas and the Arctic oceans. So if I'm here, I can move anywhere. If at game's end, if I haven't used it, it's a fail card. So I gotta get to the South Atlantic. Gotta do a lot of things. Like survive. Hey, this is a good one. I'm gonna get 5 actions. About time things look up my way. So 1, 3, 5, and 6. So for the 1, we will. That's nothing else, the only thing I can do. So we will get, hey, we're going to get a warship because more warships is always more wonderful. No, not really. 3, we'll go here. My only option is to draw from the bag. And we will get that. Our 5 will be right here. Hey, we have options here. Let's draw from the bag and we will get a clipper ship. Actually, I think I'm going to go right there. Now for our 6. Oh, lovely. A nice battleship. The Bellerophon, a battleship. 10 and 12. Oh boy, is that going to be brutal since I have no upgrades. Well, the good news is a lot of actions. Lots and lots of actions to fail. Okay, first thing we are going to do is we are going to do a stalking attack. Why stalking? Because I need that +1 to any roll I can get. So we're going to do a stalking attack versus that ship. I'm at +1, +2 is +3 total versus the ship. No warships present. So remember, if we look over here, we see that it's +1 if making a stalking attack, +2 from exertion. Don't have any of the strength and prow. -1 if any warships are present. There are none. Okay, +3 to my roll. 6 +3 is 9. This ship is sunk. I'm going to gain 1 point of notoriety, and this is in the Eastern Pacific. So hey, there's at least 8 victory points for us. Hooray, hooray, hooray. That's not too terrible, is it? So that is 1 action down. Next action we are going to do is we are going to do a search action. Remember, we do have the Arcane Library, which gives us +1 to any search action we are going to do. So again, we will use the crew for a +2. That's going to be a total of +3. Looking at the search actions, we can exert, or we can get the Arcane Library, and we get -1 for every revealed ship in our location. There are no revealed ships, so we get +3 to this roll. We're searching for this mighty treasure right there. We're going to get a 9, or a 7. 7 +3 is a 10. We see that 10 is going to be a single success right here. We're going to gain 1 treasure. This treasure is going to be removed from the board. We are going to unexert, and then we will draw from the treasure bag. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Anything wonderful? Hey, 3 victory points. Technically 4 for us. So that's 2 actions since I keep forgetting to advance the track because I'm not paying close enough attention. Now the next thing we can do is there any way we can incite in this location? Nothing to incite in this location. I need salvage. I need salvage because that's the only thing that's going to help the fact that I'm just doing absolutely terrible. I need something to help with my rolls. Attacking warships, that's going to stop me from being blown to smithereens. As long as I avoid warships, I don't need to worry about that though. I think I'm going to go for the periscope. That's going to keep my notoriety down because if I start getting these green ships, I'm doomed. There's just nothing I'm going to be able to do if I get these darn green ships. So, 1 action. I'm going to be using a lot of actions, but I just need 3 salvage. So that does mean I need to do a bold. Actually, I don't need to do a bold. Don't have to. So we are going to stock attack. So remember I had 5 actions. 1 was to move. Second one was to attack. Third one was to search. So am I doing proper? Am I skipping on my actions? Because I keep getting ahead of myself because I'm trying to do too much thinking here. So I moved for 1 action, which put me right here. I attacked for another action, then I searched for another action. So we're going to spend 1 action to do a stock and attack. We will exert the crew again for a +2. Oh, fortunate. We're going to get the America. It's a freighter. Okay, so versus the America, we have +1 stocking, +2 for a crew as a total +3. Need a 7 or better. That is not going to be a 7 or better. Lowest roll is a 1, so we are going to tire out our crew. Going to attack again. Going to push Nemo for a +2 to my roll. It's going to be a stocking attack again. Oh yeah, I took notoriety because I failed. Hey, the dice aren't going to hate me every single roll. So there's 10 plus 3 is 13. This ship is going to be salvaged right there. Nemo's determined, that's why we succeeded. Oh great, a hollow explosion. The great disaster, the rising action. What sort of craft is it, Ned? From his rigging and its low masts, the Canadian replied, I bet it's a warship. Here's hoping it pulls up and sinks the damned Nautilus. Fail and add the red reinforcement ship group to the ship pool. But wait, before we do that, we're going to adjust how many ships of these 7 ships exactly are going to go in the reinforcement pool. First, we're going to discard 1 random red ship for each of the first 3 notoriety defeat levels not yet reached. The notoriety defeat levels are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're looking at the first 3. We have not reached any of them, so we're going to randomly discard 3 of these ships. So we're going to discard 1, 2, and 3. So the Omaha, the Invincible, and the Devastation are not going to go out. We're going to add 1 random undiscarded red ship to the Nautilus's current ocean and fight it immediately. So we are going to randomly fight. Oops, 1, sorry. Randomly fight 1, the Monarch. These other 3 right here are going to go into the bag because, hey, you can never have too many warships in the bag of pain. So this goes in the failed pile, and we now have to do 1 free stock attack versus the mighty Monarch. It's an Ironside. 9 and 11. And it's going to hit our notoriety because, hey, we can never hit our notoriety just too much. It's a stocking attack, so the first thing that happens is we need to roll a 9 or better. We got an 8. Oh my gosh, you evil game. Oh my gosh. So if we fail, this is just painful. That's 4 points of damage. I guess we're going to get one of those DRM guys to go ahead and be destroyed. Or do we? Oh boy, what do we want to do? I guess Ned Land's going to take it. We're going to discard Ned Land, which is going to be a hit on our notoriety because everybody finds out just how horrible we are to our unwilling passengers. And that's going to cost us 4 victory points, but it's going to give us 1 DRM to our roll, which is going to give us a 9, which is the exact same thing we need to avoid taking a hell of a lot, 4 points of damage in this case. So, Ned Land is sacrificed. Oh boy. Now, we get to see how badly we can work against this ship. Okay. I'm going to push it. I shouldn't. I really, really, really should not push it. This is dumb. This is dumb, 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 dumb. Plus 2 my roll. I need a 9 or better. Yes! Oh, sorry. Got a little excited. Okay, 11 plus 2 is a 13. So we have managed to successfully sink this Ironside. The only negative is we're going to take 2 hits of notoriety, which puts us right there, right next to the airships and all the other wonderful, horrible little things coming in. So we are going to take this as salvage. Okay. And that's going to be 3 points of salvage. Oh boy, yeah, we could get the periscope. We could get the periscope. You no longer gain +1 notoriety between the consecutive bold attacks. All I would need was 1 notoriety token to get me down to safe level, and then I can start taking stuff out. Ooh, this could actually... Hey, things might be turning around. They're not. Oh, well, they kind of are. Things are getting interesting. Okay, that was our action card. That was our adventure card. Now let's go ahead and look at what our placement is going to be. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's painful. Oh boy. Why can't I roll high like that when I need to roll high? Do I take a null turn? No, I don't want a null turn. I don't want a null turn. Do not want a null turn. Okay, so I'm going to get 2 actions this turn. That should be enough to at least do something. So the first thing we're going to do is we're looking at space number 4. So we do have 1 spot we can take. It's the only one we can take. We don't have an option. We're going to get a warship. That is the 4 taken care of. Now for the very first 6 that we got to take care of. No options, no options, no options. Oh boy, we have no options. So if we follow along on the track, we're going to see that these general ships are going to turn to warships, but I'll go over it just so you see how this works. So we have no hidden ships to place, no hidden ships in adjacent oceans. We can't reveal a hidden ship in an adjacent ocean, so we're going to flip a white non-warship to its warship side. So we need to pick which one we're going to do. We actually have to look at the ships before we do so. I don't want to do that one because there's no notoriety hit. Actually, yeah, well, let's just look at this one. Actually, let's do this one because there's no notoriety hits if we flip that one. So that's our first one right there. Our second die is going to be, does this one get rid of notoriety? Nope, that's notoriety hit. That's, oh, there's a no notoriety hit on that ship, so we'll put it over on that side. And then our final one, let's see what joyous fun we can create here. That's a notoriety hit. That is a notoriety hit. And that's a notoriety hit. So pain, 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 or you guessed it, pain. Well, we know we're not going to this ocean ever, 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 ever again. So that is all 3 of our dice resolved. Oh joy. But I have 2 actions. I could have 4 actions. I'm going to do it. I'm going to discard you for 2 more actions. That puts us at 4. So the first action we are going to take is we are going to do a refit action. Because we are going to have to start going a little bit crazy. Going to crazy town. A little bit to the crazy town. Crazy, crazy, crazy town. I'm losing my mind here because I'm not doing that good. I'm stalling for time. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we're going to do a refit action for 2 of our action points. So we are going to push Captain Nemo to do a refit action. It doesn't really matter. Yes, it does matter. Well, we're going to discard this for a +3. So we are currently at +5 to our roll for the refit action. 10 plus 5 is 15. Ooh, nice. We actually get -1 to the cost, so actually I could take this one. Attacking warships receive +1 DRM to all their attack rolls, which means that when they attack me, they're going to be -1. So this is actually a 5, that'd be a 7, that'd be a 6, that'd be a 9. That'd be a 7, that'd be a 7. Oh my gosh, that's actually a really good choice for me. I didn't really want it. No, oh, so tempting. I gotta avoid warships. Okay, I'm setting my strategy now. We gotta avoid warships. We're gonna go for the periscope device. I'm no longer gaining notoriety between consecutive bold attacks. What was the other one again? Gain 1 fewer notoriety per ship token that you sink from a stock attack. Huh. Well, that might be a good idea. That's actually probably a better idea to get the monstrous design. Because as long as I go after ships that only have 1 notoriety, and if I don't do any bold attacks, I can slowly keep, no, that's just a losing battle too. Gosh darn it, how bad is the bag looking? It's pretty much full of horrible, horrible stuff. Oh gosh, the game's being so mean to me. That'd be 1. Well, that'd be 1. Lose D6 notoriety. That could be a good thing right now. Oh, gosh, there's so many choices. This game just gives you so darn many choices. And every choice I have is just horrible. Well, that's going to... There's no way to avoid it. I'm going to get those on the board. I need to do that to avoid taking horrible points of damage. I don't want to do it, but I have to. So we are going to choose that decision. It's a bad decision. All the decisions are horrible, but hey, what the heck? Got to choose something. Might as well choose the thing that is absolutely horrible. So that is our first action for the turn. Our next action is going to be a... Let's do a stalking attack. No, let's not do a stalking attack. We need to get our notoriety down. Does it really matter at this point? Kind of. Well, I could move there, sink that ship for 2 points of notoriety and not worry about it, or I could go after some warships. Are there any warships out there that aren't too tough to defeat? Well, it's just, we're going to stay in this area. We're going to do a stalking attack right there. If I don't like the results, I don't have to go after it. I'm not going to like the... Oh, man. The stalking action, I don't have to do it. You know what? This game is brutal and this video is running long, so let's just push our luck. Heck with it. We're just going to push our luck. I have +1 to the attack. As long as I roll an 8 or better, we're not going to take damage. I rolled an 8 or better. Good, no damage. Now we are going to push Nemo. I forgot to reset that. That's going to be a +2. It's a stalking attack. That's +3. I need an 8 or better. Ship, die. Blow up. Go into little bitty pieces. I need you to be destroyed. You're not going to be destroyed. Okay. 3 + 1. I am going to use my reroll. 10 + 3 is a 13. You are sunk. Determination is not going to go down, and then with this, we are going to gain 2 points of notoriety, which means, hey, guess what? All these get added into the bag. We are in the Eastern Pacific. We need the salvage. Okay. Our final action for the turn is we are going to do another stalking action with all these wonderful extra ships added into the bag. I don't foresee this being a victory game. I really, really don't. Although that pile's looking a little smaller. possible. Okay, so we are going to get an ironclad. We're going to go for it. We are going to go for it because I'm hoping to get enough salvage to go for the fog machine to help us out. 6 or better, we got it. We're not going to take any damage. Now we are going to need a 7 or better. Do I have any more rerolls left? I do. Well, I have DRM at least. Oh my gosh. 7 plus 3 is a 10. I did it, yes. So the ship is going to be defeated. We are going to take that ship for its salvage. And that's our last action. Let's go ahead to our next action card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, we are getting, 8, 9. Maybe not as low as I thought it was. Action card. Let's see what we are going to get here. Commerce Scare. The Shipping and the Mercantile Gazette, the Lloyd's List, the Packet Boat, and the Maritime and Colonial Review, all papers devoted to insurance companies which threatened to raise their rates of premium, were unanimous on this point. Public opinion had been pronounced. Play. Perform this many reactions. 4 and pass if motive is war or anti-imperialism, which is not because we're explorer. 2 and fail if motive is explore and science. So we have to pay 2 reactions. For each reaction must gain 1 notoriety or flip any non-warship token if available to show its warship side. Okay, we get to roll this many dice. 2 and a 5. That's going to give us 3 actions. So first we go for the 2, which is, hey, that's where we're at. That's nice, convenient. Good thing I cleaned that out a little bit. Now we are going to go for the 3. Can't do, can't do, can't do, can't do. So we have to flip one of our tokens. That's no notoriety, so we will take that one for our 3. Now for our 4. Can't do, can't do, can't do. Does this one give notoriety? Nope. Yes, it does. That one gives notoriety. Any of these give non-notoriety? Nope. Nope. And nope. So let's just flip. Oh, wait. Aha! We will flip that one right there for our 4. Then finally for our 5. Oh, boy. Nope. Don't want that one. Ew, I don't like any of them. I'll take that one anyways. That's for our 5. So there are our 3 dice resolved. Okay. We have 3 actions. We're going to adventure. We're going to go on an adventure. That takes 2 of our actions right there. Because I want these treasures because I need victory points, and I also need, actually no, I need a refit, don't I? Darn it, I need that refit badly. Need that refit badly. So instead of going on an adventure, we're going to spend our 2 actions for a refit. So we're going to exert Captain Nemo. We're going to spend 3 treasures. Actually, do I want to do that? The way I've been rolling, yes, I do want to do that. So we're going to plus 5 to our roll. Good thing I did that. So we have a 6 plus a 5 is an 11. Boy, if I just had 1 more, I would have got the 12. Not that it mattered. So we'll spend these 2 points of salvage right here, and we are going to get the fog machine. Let's refresh that before I forget. And we'll get this. Now, during your action, for 1 action, you may remove, destroy this card to decrease your notoriety by 2d6. That's what I'm going to do with my last action. We're going to do some fogging. And we will get a 5. Boy, that couldn't have been much worse, could it? That'll put us at 24 at least. That's destroyed. We cannot get that card back. We'll remove that from the game. That's our last action. Next adventure. Shortage of air. How long, I asked, will the oxygen in the air tanks enable us to breathe on board? The captain looked me straight in the eye. After tomorrow, he said, the air tanks will be empty. Oh joy. 10. Push the crew. Oh, I'm not pushing the crew. I am so not pushing the crew. It's a 10. I only get plus 1 to it. It's not worth it. Oh my gosh. Fail, lose a crew. Could mean early loss. 7 plus 1 is 8. Luckily our lowest die is a 1, so it's going to fail. But alas, it's a fail, so we go one more down to spent. Okay. Okay, we're going to get a lull turn, or guess what, everybody? We're going to get a lull turn. And number 3. Okay, so we will place a treasure. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Treasure, treasure, treasure. I'm trying to keep the colors joined up and matching. Okay, so we have full ocean. So we're just I'm gonna speed this up. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just speeding this up at this point. I mean, I could take the time to figure this out, but I'm not figuring this out anymore. We know that life is just getting brutal. So we will check this location for rebellion. We have 4 plus 1 is 5. So if I roll a 4 or less, guess what? We lose that rebellion cube. Hey, I actually have to keep it. I'm shocked. I actually am shocked. So lull turn. Next adventure phase. Did I do the treasures? Yes, I did. I didn't forget anything. If I did, just yell at me. I'm trying to speed this up. Accident or incident. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was awakened by a violent collision. I sat up in bed, listening in the darkness, and then was suddenly hurled into the middle of my stateroom. Apparently, the Nautilus had gone aground, then heeled over sharply. Plus 1. Pass, keep this card. Okay, I need an 8 or better. Oh, that's definitely not going to be an 8 or better. Do I use my reroll? I don't have any rerolls. I don't have any rerolls. Oh joy. Okay, so since I failed, my lowest one is a 1, so the hole is going to drop down by 1. Also, if you fail, you lose 1 hole and 1 keep in your tableau without its benefits if you have any. Lovely. Gotta lose one of these cards. It says keep. Well, actually that could work out. So if this, wait. The game's end, fail if unused. So this is gonna go, oh, without, lose 1 hole and keep 1, okay. And fail 1 keep card, yeah, doesn't matter. It's going to go on the fail pile. Oh, that's lightning. Lightning is 4 victory points. This is 6 for us. And this goes on the fail pile too. Gosh. That was brutal. Let's see if I'm going to get any actions this time. Well, I'm going to get 4 actions, so that's not too bad. Okay, for the 2. Hey, yay! For the 5. Actually, for the 5, I'm going to do that. For the 6, I'm going to do that. And for the other 6, I'm going to do that. So that resolves all of our dice, and now we have 4 actions. I am hurting here. I am so darn hurting here. I am just feeling like I just want to sink in one little spot and just stay there and hopefully, hope beyond hope, I can survive this adventure deck. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since it's adventure time, let's go on an adventure. So going on an adventure is going to give us a draw. It takes 2 actions to do, but hopefully I'm going to get one of these 4 marvelous treasures that happen to be revealed right here. Okay, it's an underwater forest. Captain Nemo invites Professor Aronnax. Well, he would. Oh, Professor Aronnax is still alive. I haven't killed him yet. Professor Aronnax on a hunting trip that will take place tomorrow morning in the Crespo Island forest. Push Nemo and push the crew. Pass, collect 2 gems. It's a 9 or better. Plus 3 to the roll, and I need a 9 or better. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so I need a 9 or better. That's a 8. Or that's a 7, because, you know, no, that's an 8. Math is not that hard today. I guess, Professor Aronnax, thematically, you're not going to come back from this little journey. So, we are going to take a notoriety hit for using you, but that's going to give us +2 the dice roll modifier. Hey! That's going to bring us up to a 9. At least we get 2 treasures. Too bad the professor didn't make it back with us. Oh well, they'll just have to wonder what happened to the professor. What happened, Professor? I don't know. Him and Gilligan seem to have disappeared. Okay, so there is a 3. Discard and draw 2 treasures. Hey, things are looking up for us. I might score at least 100 points this game. Maybe if I'm lucky. Okay, so we gain +3 and discard and gain 1 reroll. Hey, would have been nice to have that sooner. And then we passed, so we get to discard all 4 of those because we passed the adventure. And now we get to draw 4 treasures. So 1, 2, 3. Whoops, that's 3. And let's go for 4. So treasure, treasure. Treasure. Oh, we found the lost city, so that's going to be victory points for us. Hey, that's not too bad. Okay, what do we want to do now? We could attack. We could refresh the crew. Which would be a good idea for us at this point. Or I think we're going to rest. So we're going to do a rest action. We are going to exert Nemo for a +2. We're going to discard a treasure for 4. So that's going to be +6 to our roll. We are -1 if there are any warships in our area. There are not. We're hoping for a 6 or better. Hey, we got it. So if we look over here, that means we're going to rest our crew for 2. So we're going to go from spent to tired. And since we did a rest action, that's our last 2 actions for this turn. What's up next? We shall see. Okay, the transatlantic cable. We're about 500 miles from the Heart's Content at a depth of more than 1,400 fathoms. That I saw the electric cable lying on the bottom. Keep, when the Nautilus is in the North Atlantic, right there, you may fail and immediately perform free insight and or search actions, but no more than 3 combined. For each one you gain 1 notoriety. A game's end pass if unused, which is only going to be worth 2 whole victory points. While gaining insight is going to be possibly up to 9 victory points. Well, but we're going to be at a horrible, horrible penalty for that one because it's -1 per revealed ship. So we're going to be -4 +2, a total of -2 to the insight. Might be worth it. I don't know at this point. Things are looking pretty darn grim for us. Let's see what's going to happen next. Well. Let's just take the lull turn. I'm going to take the lull turn. Gonna have to take the lull turn. So for our 1, I will flip that one because that's all we can do. For our 2s, we will add, and we will add, and then we will add a treasure. And then we will add a treasure up here, and then we will roll for this. So we have 4, 5. If I roll 4 or less, we lose it. Lost it. That's it for our lull turn. Now we get to go on to our next turn. Woohoo! We made it to the final. Hey, we actually get to see a full game. I told you this is going to happen. I was never worried. Never worried at all. I'm just worried if my score is going to be more than, 100. Okay. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Hey, that's very thematic. Not a fact has been omitted. Not a detail exaggerated. What I now affirm is that I have a right to speak of these seas, under which in less than 10 months I have crossed 20,000 leagues in that submarine tour of the world, which has revealed so many wonders. The game ends. First, resolve all adventure cards only in your tableau and place in either the pass or fail piles, as indicated on each card. So, this one says, at game's end, pass if unused. Hooray! At game's end, pass if unused. Hooray! Then we place all the upgrade cards in that too. Oh, did not add Nautilus upgrade cards to the pass file yet. Then subtract the number of cards on the fail pile from the cards in the pass pile and score the difference in character's victory points. Fail as if this score is negative, otherwise pass. So I think it's going to be a fail because I failed a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hey, maybe I have at least 13 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of course it's going to be a fail. Okay, so that's going to be -1 victory points for character victory points. And character victory points, are they a bonus for us? I forget how for this one. They are their exact value. So this card is going to be negative. Goes in the fail pile. Add it to the rest of our failures. So hey, that's a complete game of 20,000 Leagues Underneath the Failure I have done in this game. Actually, it's, you know, not too bad. Let's go ahead and add up all the scores and show you exactly how we're going to score this great game. And does anybody think I broke 100? I'm actually wondering if I actually managed to break 100 because this has been a brutal, brutal game. Now there's a couple of different ways you can actually score the game. There's actually a sheet you can download from Board Game Geek, which is a really nice breakdown on how to score the game. The other option is you can use the tokens to score the game and use these tokens on this track over here. I just like to use my smartphone because, hey, that's what I got my smartphone for, and might as well just write everything up because it's quick and easy for me and I can just do the quick math here as we go through the whole process. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to create a quick little note here, and then we're going to start adding up all of our victory points. Now remember, your motive is going to adjust the amount of victory points you're going to get for everything. And we're simply going to go from top to bottom and then from left to right and figure out all the victory points we're going to get with the bonuses and the penalties as we go through this whole darn process. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score all of our warships that we manage to sink. Now remember, every warship is worth -1 point because we did the explore motive. And before I forget, let me place these cards in the pass pile because we at least get some of the victory points for those. So we're going to look at any warship that's sunk. This warship right here is worth 1 victory point. -1 is 0. Hooray! This warship right here is worth 2 victory points. -1 is going to be 1 whole victory point. Wow, all that hard work. 1 whole victory point. Joy, oh joy, oh joy. Now we're going to look at the non-warships that we managed to sink, and they're going to be worth their full value. That one is 2, plus 0 is 2, 3. That one's going to be worth exploration, so I better not forget that in. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whole victory points. So hey, we are up to 8 victory points. We're rocking it right now. Just to show you how painful this can truly, truly be. To even be worth not absolutely horrible, I got to get at least 185 victory points. At least 185. Oh joy. Okay, so now that we scored those, now we're going to go ahead and score adventure cards. So we will look to see if there's any adventure cards that we are going to score, and we're going to go through this stack pretty darn quick here. So that's not an adventure card, that's electricity. So there's 2, there's 4, there's 10, there's nothing, there's 12, there's 13. I'll put that in electricity pile. It's 13, and this is going to be a person. So that's a whole 13 points. Oh joy, no bonuses. So that puts us at a whole 21 victory points. Boy, oh boy, we're rocking it now. So now we're going to score all of our treasures. Now every one of our treasures is going to be worth +1 victory points due to our motive. So we got 0, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21 because we didn't use that. So hey, we're up to 42. Hey, things are working better. Not really. So now we're going to work on our liberation. Hey, guess what? We lost our liberation on the very last turn because of that lull phase. Great. So we gained 0 for our liberation. Now let's go ahead and look at our scientific discoveries. So let's add up all our scientific discoveries. They're going to be worth a 4 times multiplier. Make sure I'm not missing anything, because I'm trying to do this quickly and I don't want to make any screw ups, at least not now, because I'm trying to do as good as I can here. So we have 1 scientific, 2 scientific, 3 scientific, 4 scientific. Times 4 is going to be 16, plus 42 is going to be 58 points at this point. Okay. Heavy sigh. Heavy, heavy sigh. So now we get to get our wonder scene. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 1 is going to be a 7 for the ghost ship. Any other wonders that we are missing? Okay, so we have 7 wonders times 7 is going to be 49. Hey, we're at least over 100 right now. So that is going to put us at 107. Okay, not too terrible. Not too great, not too terrible. Now we are going to lose any victory points that we happen to have for anything that's out there. I am not seeing any on a cursor. Oh, yep, we have a -5 right here. So we are going to lose 5 victory points. That puts us down to 102. Hey, we're still over 100, so joy there. Okay, now we're going to score for being an inconvenience. Oh, inconvenience. Okay, that gives us 8 whole victory points. That puts us at 110. And now we get to score for not totally obliterating every single resource and alienating every single person that we could ever find. So we have 4 plus 10 is going to be 14. That's 14 victory points. Congratulations, we have 124 victory points. Well, granted, it's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely not as great as I should have done, and this is probably, actually I think this is like, no, it's not my worst game, but it's definitely up there with some of my worst games. So the good news is we managed to complete everything. We didn't suffer an utter failure. We did suffer defeat. So now we look at the manual and we look at the defeat for Explore, and we get to read this and see just how miserable we were in our exploration. Defeat. Poor Nemo. Utter defeat. Pressing the edge of the undersea knowledge, the Nautilus is lost with all hands, and its incredible adventures will not stir the imagination of mankind for another 100 years. Sadly, the world never learns about Captain Nemo, and his legacy is lost forever beneath the waves. Okay, that is a very, very long game of Nemo's War. Now understand that while this video series runs very, very long, and I understand this, I haven't even looked at the time, I bet this is going to be at least 3 hours. Understand, I was talking to you the whole time, which extends the actions, and I was really, really deliberating all the actions. The average gameplay for this game is going to be about 2 hours. Now, we're going to go ahead and close this up. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as I can. You can also feel free to email me at offtheshelfboardgamereviews. That's otsbgr@gmail.com. I'll be sure to answer your email as quickly as I can. You can also, if you like, leave the comments down below and discussing what you saw of you here. If you thought anything was strange, if you noticed any mistakes, granted this went very, very long. I was kind of distracted trying to handle the camera work plus the game. So if you did notice any errors, please make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments below so I can get those comments added to the game. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this video series. If you want to keep seeing these videos and all these video series, click that like button, click that subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.